And with New Hampshire being such a great track for me, and having won races here, and kind of winning the lottery to get the test here, it was certainly an important weekend, an important track for us to bring our A game. So certainly making a lot of progress today, and looking forward to hopefully find a little bit more tomorrow to be ready for the big race here in a few months.
Does coming today, do you think it does help you for in July? I mean, I know it's months away. I mean,
yeah, if we didn't think coming here helped us, we'd save our money and stay home. It's there's always something to be learned, whether it's as a driver or the team and working on the car or whatever it might be. And it's an added benefit. We help Goodyear a lot here. Goodyear, the tire supplier, as well, while we're here to hopefully build the best tire they can build for the best racing for the fans.
Your progress at RFK, you feel you're on track to where you wanted to go, where you wanted to be?
Yeah, I mean, we're in a reasonable spot. We got both cars tentatively in the playoffs, right? Still a long ways to go before the playoffs start, but beats the alternative of not being, in a playoff position. So we want to get both of our cars wins and locked in and really solidify that. So, we've had a couple close races where I felt like we were almost there, and whether Daytona 500, Atlanta, or even this past weekend in Talladega, good runs for us. So, we just need a little bit more to punch through to be able to win.
Brad, as far as what you were testing today, were you testing new compounds or just what's been run here in the past but with different configurations of the car?
Yeah, all new tire compounds and configurations of the tires that Goodyear's developed. They're looking for a few things that they can learn off of, and it's difficult for Goodyear because all the data they have, over the last decade has been with the Gen 6 car, and there's not a lot of data with the next gen car. And so the next gen car just drives differently, and it requires different things out of the tires to put great racing on the racetrack. And so, Goodyear is taking that challenge and trying to make the most of it. And specifically, the old car, the Gen 6 car, used to be really, really hell on the front tires. I don't know if you guys remember, but you'd always see guys blow out front tires and wreck in the fence. And the next gen car isn't that way. It's not hard on the front tires, and because of that, Goodyear can be a lot more aggressive with the tire, and has to be more aggressive with the tire for the racing to really be able to be its best. So I think they're trying to find what those limits are and trying to understand that landscape, and these tests are super valuable to them as well.
Any chance to create more fall off here? We always see things based on the fuel runs here and kind of run it backwards based on strategy that way. Looking for a little more fall off maybe?
Yeah,
what's good they're looking for?
Yeah, I think Goodyear's looking to see if they can make a tire that can have the cars drive a little better on the front end and drive a little worse on the back end of a run. Generally, that opens up more opportunities for passing and side-by-side racing that everybody loves.
What's your feeling on the damp weather tire, or wherever they're calling it?
Yeah, it's interesting because you take a day like today, and I don't think it would do much for us. We probably could just stay with the tire we're on and drive the track, and then one or two passes with jet dryers will get us there. But I understand that so there's some considerations there for our fans, and trying to make sure that we continue to put a race on even when it's just lightly raining. And I certainly respect NASCAR's desires to not have to red flag races and go through all of that, but there's also kind of a line there of, I'm not sure it always makes sense. If it's actively raining, we're not going to race anyway. But if it's wet, usually the jet dryers will dry it just as quick or faster than the cars will. So it really covers a small nuance of when it's wet but not raining, but too wet for the jet dryers to work. There's a small kind of hole that the wet weather tires fit in, and I just hope we don't have to use them for everybody. Nobody wants to run in the rain. Our fans don't want us to run in the rain. They want to see a great race weather here in attendance, and we don't either, but we're also trying to do the best we can for everybody.
Bob Barnes, WSMN. What do you do mentally or physically differently to prepare for a tire testing than any other day on the track?
Not much. I mean, nowadays it just feels like the old days when you're at a tire test. Like, oh, I get to be on the track for more than 5 minutes at a time. That's kind of nice, and I get to pull in the garage area and talk to my crew chief, and we actually get to work on the car. I really relish it because it reminds me of when I started in the sport, when you could actually work on the cars, and those dynamics with your crew chief and the team really were important. Nowadays, those dynamics are completely different, of course, and so it's a different mentality for sure.
Brad, do you look at these days a little bit differently now as an owner and also with the Alliance, Rick Ware, before as you were just a driver?
Not really. I mean, I think I'd look at them differently just because we don't get to practice anymore. The value of tests has gone up pretty dramatically, and I wish we practiced more, but that's another story for another day. You know, I think the ownership perspective hasn't really changed my mind more than just the lack of practice. Well, I think these guys want to talk, so why don't I get out of their way and you can ask them a bunch of questions. But thank you guys.